Yo, what's up, guys? Greg here. It's finally happening. We are getting it. They're finally giving Albion some love on mobile. So, if you guys didn't know, today is like the huge patch day, the biggest patch that they've ever released for Albion Online since its launch, in 2017. So, tons and tons of new stuff. But we're just going to look at the mobile stuff here real quick because this is the first time ever that they've added any improvements for mobile. So, mobile improvements. We got a larger HUD layout, new right aligned spell button layout, context menu, replacing many buttons can be closed by swiping it right or left or tapping anywhere else on the screen, increased size of important UI elements, automatic UI scaling option based on screen size, landscape. Screen now stays active while game is running. I had this problem a lot because I have a Samsung phone and I use the Samsung game launcher, which usually keeps the game running if I don't touch the screen for a few minutes. But for some reason, Albion, it never worked. So this is awesome. That's awesome to hear. Main game and minimap can now be zoomed in by pinching the screen. Minimap zoom levels optimized for mobile. Input box appears when typing. Double tap to move items to and from containers. That's huge. It's such a pain to move items on mobile. You had to actually literally drag it from one side of the screen to the other, every single item. It was terrible. So that's I think that's the biggest improvement right there. Added tap guards to the corners of the HUD to prevent accidental character movement when using UI elements. Cluster map can now also be opened by tapping the cluster label under the minimap, and a couple iOS fixes, fixed black screen when loading the game, and notch support for iPhone X and newer. All right, so I can't show you guys yet because the servers are supposed to be coming up in about 12 minutes from now. So I'll get that. Well, obviously there's not going to be any delay because I'm just going to edit out the delay, and yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look at all this new stuff. But yeah, this is awesome news. Hopefully it all works because as far as I'm aware, they didn't really do any testing for this. So yeah, I'm hoping it all works as it's supposed to. I guess if not, then we're going to be the testers. They did not. It doesn't look like they've added it on Google Play yet. So this might be just a more of a test launch for the new mobile stuff, but because it's not on the Play Store yet. But yeah, we're gonna test this stuff out, and I'll let you guys know how it feels and how it works, and hopefully see you guys in the world of Albion. We'll see what happens. I'm expecting really long queues today. I'm expecting all sorts of crashes and stuff. So I'll be surprised if it goes smoothly. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at how this is all working. All right, so I'm waiting for the server to come up, and I decided just to let the phone, do its thing and try to time out. And there we go. We got the lock screen. So that is working properly as they said it would. So good to know. That's the first thing we can check off the list. For the record, I'm playing on a Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. So just in case you're wondering, you can tell I'm playing on my phone. I'm not trying to fool you guys. You can tell I'm playing on the phone by the black borders on top and bottom because, the phone resolution doesn't exactly fit a 1080p screen. All right, anyway, here we go. So I'm in. First things to notice are the change in the button layout over to the right, and just the overall size of all that stuff has been enlarged. Okay. And everything looks pretty good. I was expecting something different, actually. I thought it would be I thought they would make the buttons more like a standard mobile MMO, but I don't know. I think this layout is kind of cool, and I think I kind of like it. We'll see how it goes. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map buttons if they're working properly. Here's the world map. Zoom in, zoom out using the pinch function works well. Chat thing works pretty well. I don't know. Did they change the chat? I think the tabs are a bit bigger. So it looks like the tabs are bigger. So they made the chat tabs bigger and easier to click on there, or tap on rather. And Here's where you find all your settings and stuff in this top right button over here. Let's go ahead and look through the game settings real quick. All right, general settings looks pretty much the same. Yeah, I don't see anything really new here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the mount skins, because you always want to know what mount your enemies are using and what gear they're using. So you don't want to let them use skins to fool you. Video, I always limit my phone to 30 FPS just because I don't think there's a reason to have 60. It just drains the battery quicker. So I'm just going on 30 there. Volume settings are all the same. Interface, the HUD size scaling, I guess this is kind of new. They have like a standard for phones, and you can make it smaller too if you like the buttons to be a bit smaller, like in tablet mode. Spells on bottom, looks, there's no change there. That's exactly how it was before, I think, which isn't bad. I don't know if I like bottom or right better. So again, they didn't really change a whole lot. Like, this isn't like the official big mobile update that we're waiting for or anything. This is just like a beta. And I just looked on the forums and it does say this is a beta for the mobile updates. So we're not getting all the features that that we're supposed to get yet, but this is just like something for now that's really nice to have. Okay, the double tapping on the stuff to put in the bank and back, that's really nice. And yeah, cool. All right, so now I'm gonna throw all my gear in the bank, and then we're gonna go back to one of the safer areas. I'm in Carleon right now, which means everything around me is a red zone, and I do not want to be going in there on my phone. So we're gonna suicide right here, go back to one of the other cities, the safe cities, and go find a dungeon real quick and like see how well everything looks as far as like testing out the new buttons for in combat and everything. I guess we can see how long the load times are now too. Seems that was about what, 10 seconds, maybe 12 or something, which is like really good for a phone, especially when it's loading into like a really big populated city like this. Okay, I'm gonna go gear up and get my butt over to a dungeon, and we'll see you guys there. I was thinking about just cutting the video straight to the dungeon, but I know a lot of you guys are still like pretty new to Albion, so I'm all geared up now, and I'll show you like. I usually hang out in Fort Sterling. Fort Sterling is like where I've always, like 99% of my play has been around Fort Sterling. So in case you're in or around Fort Sterling, I'll show you kind of like what I do to find like dungeons and stuff like that. So basically, I mean, if you're just starting out, you don't want to go to where I'm going right now, because I'm going to go to a yellow zone dungeon, which is tier 5. So that means you need to have at least expert Reaver, and you can see like what I'm talking about. I put this little picture up on the screen right now. So there's different levels all the way from tier 1 to tier 8 of Reaver, which means basically every time you hit that tier, you get like, for tier 5 here, for example, we get damage versus creatures of tier 5 or higher increased by 145%, and defense versus creatures tier 5 or higher increased by 31%. That means if you're fighting a tier 5 creature and you don't have this, you will do 45% less damage and take 31% more damage. So it sounds like it's a real big buff, but no, this is like what you actually have to have in order to survive. Because if you don't have that, you're just not going to do enough damage, and you're just going to be taking way too much damage to make it worth doing whatever you're doing. So you need to at least have the level of Reaver equivalent to the level of dungeon that you want to do. And it may seem right now that like I have an exact place that I'm looking to go, but I don't. Like, the way the dungeons in this game work is they're just kind of random all over the map. So you basically just run around until you see one. You can also kind of hear them if you have like headphones on and you have your sound up high enough. You can kind of hear the dungeons before you see them. They like have this humming sound that you can hear in the background. But yeah, I'm mostly just running around because when I play on my phone, I don't really use headphones or anything, so I can't hear it. So I'm just running around randomly, and the chances are you're gonna find one because there are dungeons all over the place, and they have all different types of looks. Some look like little like warp portals. Some you'll just see like a big glowing thing, and that's okay. Here's one right here. This is one of the basic ones. There's others that look like caves. There'll be like a glowing cave and that sort of thing. But yeah, just run around until you find one of these, hop right in, and then you can like this is the easiest solo stuff that you can do in the game, and I think it's pretty fun actually. They're like almost completely random, everything that you find inside of them. Again, you do if you are in a yellow zone, you do have to you kind of have to worry about people fighting you. Not really, but it's possible that someone will come in and try to fight you. Of course, in a yellow zone, you won't lose all your gear or anything, but they can at least like people try to compete for these dungeons sometimes. All right, so I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here because this is also one of the new functions of the game, and I felt like it was a little bit too zoomed out, and I might actually be able to play better with it zoomed in a little bit like this. So we're gonna try this out for a while. Again, the actually I don't think I've mentioned this yet. There is no digital analog stick yet, so we're still using tap to move. You have to tap on the ground in order to move to that position. And it does appear that some of the abilities from the mobs aren't, the particle effects aren't showing up. Like that guy right there, what he was just doing, he has like this poison breath that he spews out over over about like 4 or 5 seconds. So he was doing that, and normally you would see like this crap flying all over the screen, but yeah, it's not working on mobile yet, unfortunately. So you just kind of have to remember when you see an enemy doing like a really long animation like that, even though the red stuff on the ground is gone, that doesn't mean it's safe, because the red stuff just tells you when it's starting, but sometimes the red stuff will be gone, but the mob will still be like shooting fire, for example. And you might think you're safe, but you're not, because there's fire coming out of his mouth, even though you don't see it. It's just one of those little things that you kind of have to learn playing on a mobile device. Hopefully they fix that next, because I think that's the only issue that's not really addressed yet. One of the big major issues with the mobile game so far. But other than that, like this is running really well. I'm getting in pretty much a constant, almost 30 FPS. I'm able to dodge pretty much all the big attacks when I need to, or when I'm not being too lazy to dodge them. Sometimes I'll just sit there and take it, because I am a little bit over geared for this dungeon. And I'm playing nature healer, so I can just heal myself pretty easily. I don't know what this would be like as a different class that doesn't have access to heals all the time, but for nature, I think nature is one of the best solo weapons in the game. All right, so anyway, this is where I'm gonna leave you guys, I think, because I think we've gone over pretty much everything that we need to go over for this so far. Hope you enjoy the video. Please subscribe to my channel and all that stuff. Maybe I'll talk again at the very end of the video if I think of something that I forgot here, but I don't think I did. And yeah, go ahead and watch the rest of the dungeon if you like. Watch and see, yeah, just how well everything runs. I think this is great. This is like way better than it was before. This is like definitely in a playable area now. Like I feel like I can confidently go out and do some dungeon runs on my phone now, which is awesome. All right, peace, guys. Enjoy the rest, and I'll see you next time in the next video. Latest. Hey, you. Did you subscribe yet?